Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. We're here again, live again today. This time for some Le Mans Ultimate. Again, we are at classic Fuji without the chicane, and in GT3 cars, and only GT3 cars. But we are in the Mustang, and there is some rain around, which is going to make things a little bit more interesting. Looking forward. When the rain comes, we don't know what the likelihood of rain is. We think it's about 75% chance. Looking at what we have on the stream, or on the stream, in game, in the garage. So, hello everyone. Welcome back. As you can see, practice has gone reasonably well. P4, much better. Unlike what we've sort of been doing on the Fridays so far, and last week where we turned the ABS down to 1 and just tried to manage the brakes ourselves, kind of like the prototypes. Not done that. Haven't touched the ABS. Think it's a good decision. The car actually feels really good. I'm really happy with how the car feels. And it looks like we could be on for a good position here. But we'll have to see how the weather, how the rain goes, how the race itself, of course, long run to T1, difficult braking zone, tight corner. We've seen how yesterday went at Portimao with that tight T1. Didn't go very well. We got away, not unscathed, but we got away lightly compared to a lot of other cars. So, yeah. And now we go away for qualifying. Truck is at low grip. Ooh, so the track's going to be evolving. Third session. Pit lane is open as we get to the end here. But yeah, it could be very interesting. I've still sort of fueled up for 2 5-lap stints, which might not be a good idea considering the weather. Though I think it did say 0% chance of rain for this session, so it probably isn't actually that bad of an idea. Car quite twitchy on cool tires. Of course, again, this is where the chicane would be. This is now the 3rd race we've done at Fuji consecutively where we haven't used that chicane. So we head here for our first flying lap. Quite cool conditions, 18 degrees ambient, 19 degrees track temperature. So that's going to make it difficult to get tires up to temperature, but should kind of prevent the front left from overheating as much. But So from practice, left-handers are going to be a bit difficult with the cooled right-hand side tires. Right-handers aren't too bad, so the car's a little snappy through the sort of final part of that long right-hander. And the car doesn't seem too annoyed if we clout that inside curb, sort of where the chicane normally would be. Seems to handle it just fine. Better than the Aston did, for sure. This penultimate corner, another one of those. It's going to be awkward with the cold tires. Track's now at high grip. That changed. That evolved very quickly. So there's first time 39.0. We can definitely go quicker than that. Let's start to push a little bit more now. Braking too late for T1. Of course, we're still going to gain tire temperature over the next couple of laps. So we'll be able to find a nice bit of time. Okay, car just sliding through there, sliding again. Maybe too early on the brakes there for that right-hander. Out of the final corner. 2 more laps. A little bit better through T1, though I think we could get away with braking a little bit later. Currently sitting in P12, a little bit disappointing compared to how our practice pace was, but of course not everyone set a lap time in practice. Running wide there definitely cost us time. Ooh, a big snap of oversteer trying to put down the power there. It's been a very messy midpoint of the lap, final corner now. We're getting better and better. And now final lap of the stint. Look at that, 1.5 tenths gained in T1. Could have carried more speed through left-hander for turn 3. deep into the left-hander here. But we know we have time to make up in the second half of the lap. Starting from here, look at that. Again, the rear end just snapping round. Maybe a little too wide there. Rear end getting too slidey. Giving up too much time. We'll practice pit entry here because I haven't done one yet. That was good. Right. Now let's head back into the garage. Fuel one, take 1% out. Start driving. Because we cannot afford to waste any time if we want to try and get all our laps in. Looking at the time, I'm not sure we're going to get all 5 laps in here. Nearly spun round there. Look how close it is for the next 2 cars in front of us. So, that's a weird double shift. Sometimes I do accidentally double shift myself when I think I've not pressed the paddle in enough, so I press it again, but I had pressed in enough, so it's a double shift. But that wasn't one of those moments. Look at that, improving in T1 even with the colder tires. Run up to the line, very close on the delta. Practically even. But it's enough to get us up 1 place. still too early on the brakes. And the car we beat just improved themselves. So it didn't actually gain us anything. 2 more laps here. You can see the tires coming into the temperature window as we're able to improve. Not a great right-hander there, dropped a bit of time. Running in deep there. Oh. Losing the rear end, yeah, no good way to end the lap off. One more flying lap. I really want to improve from 14th here, and I feel like we can do it. Like, get the delta we're gaining towards T1 just from a good exit. Tenth up. Four and a half tenths up. This is more like it. A good end to the lap here. That's a good right-hander. Okay, the final corner wasn't the best. Not a great exit. We're still about 3/4 of a second up. Currently sitting P15. The checkered flag is out. Where will we bump ourselves up to? P7. That's much better. Much, much better. Oh, we're 7 thousandths off of P6. 24 thousandths off of P5. Oh, blimey, that is so close. Oh, we really could have been P5 if we had a slightly better final corner. And we're a 1/4 of a tenth ahead of P8. It is so close here from 5th to 8th. Field is generally quite close, some really close battles up and down the grid. The main thing is we're further up than we were at Sebring. Yeah, of course, we're waiting for last cars to finish their lap. Looks like maybe just one car here at the bottom, but I don't think they're gonna trouble us. So close.
teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Okay, so it might rain towards the later part of the race. If the practice session is anything to go by, which seems to be the same settings, it only rained at like the final 2 minutes, and it was light rain. Like the track was only damp. So yeah, of course, the tires being cold isn't going to help. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be a really sort of wet. Of course, the conditions for the race, the probability could just fall a different way. 75%. Practice maybe just was, roll of the dice, and we got a 1 for rain, and it's like, yeah, no, there won't be rain. But 2 to 6 is pretty much rain. As how likely we get 1 again? Very unlikely. Inside for T1 is nice. Hopefully, can get a better start than sort of what we got yesterday. Morning, Kybell. Good to see you.
Has started.
Seems like someone hasn't gone for the start. This is going to be a very wonky grid. So we're ready for the start. The grid is a little misshaped. That's just LMU. We're way. For the start, already coming under threat. Some missed apexes in front of us. Fry's still on our left-hand side. Leave them the space. And we'll get P6 around the outside. Try and get down the inside of the Aston Martin here. They were a bit slow through the long right-hander, but they've carried the momentum on the outside. And they're going to hold on to the position for now. Ooh, car going off in the background. Yellow flags were out, so we can't overtake, even if the instant was behind us. Aston on a wide line here. Aston seems a little bit timid, which kind of leads me to want to get past them. Do we have the straight line speed here in the slipstream? Not looking like it. Starting to close up here. McLaren behind making a move on the Ferrari. Look how much we close in on the Aston. Through the right-hander. That was a very late defense. McLaren's trying to put us under pressure now too. McLaren's really closing up with the slipstream. We all concertina up into T1. McLaren has a lot of grip. Unfortunately, this fighting with the McLaren has let the Aston get away. I'm not going to defend, I'm going to see what the Aston, or the McLaren does here. A little too late to be braking at that point that I did. Much better exit out of the final corner. I think we're starting to close in on the Aston a little bit too. 37s, yeah, we're on 37s. Bit too much exit curb there. You can see how that ruined our momentum on the Delta. McLaren again all over that exit curb. Aston very, very wide there. gapped the McLaren a bit this lap, which is nice. Taking the pressure off a little bit and still closing in on the Aston. Quite a bit of fighting going on up ahead. A couple of cars attacking or defending up against the pit wall. I think we were the fastest driver last lap. Only 37 lap time I saw on the top left. You can see the top four is still nose to tail. Too wide of an entry there into the right-hander. Aston already defending into the final corner. Compromised their exit, but we didn't get the greatest exit either. Right, the outside not going to quite work there. McLaren just driving into us now. Rain has started. McLaren ran too wide. Only a drizzle and it might not last. According to the forecast. So we've got to do all that work again to catch up to the Aston. Mustang spun. Track is damp. Again, look at how much we close in on the Aston. Once we get past the Aston, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to pull well clear. I lost the rear end there. McLaren struggling for grip on the outside. Ooh, light rain now in the forecast. Rear end getting very slidey now. I don't know if... partly because of the damp track. I don't know how much the damage will be contributing to that. Couple of cars into the pits. Track's definitely lost some grip this lap. Aston's out wide. That's going to give us a place. Oh, I think the McLaren pit last lap. I think that's a good idea. The Aston off again. Closing in on the BMW in front. Yeah, track's slightly wet. Though fuel is going to be tight to the end. Someone staying out? Gonna be a busy pit lane. New wet tires, full fuel. overshot by a good bit. Only Aston is right behind us in the pits. Oh, they're probably going to get turned then, which probably won't help them. So here we come out of the pits. Oh, the Ford that had the spin already onto wet tires. And the McLaren isn't actually anywhere to be seen. Or are they already well in front? Have they jumped up to second place? Which would be the net lead of this race. I don't think they could have. I see the Ford that spun hasn't put fuel in, so they need to pit. And look at the Mustang behind us. I think they pitted a lap earlier based on their energy, and it's worked out really well for them. Ferrari was still yet to pit. BMW really wide as everyone relearns the braking point for T1. Mustang's holding up the BMW a bit as they try and get their tyres up to temperature. The Mustang didn't recharge either or put energy in either. That's surely a bug. They're sliding all over the place. If they didn't put energy in either, that's a big fumble. Evening, Kevin. Ooh, really slowing up here. Gotta be really gentle on the throttle. Reset the delta. We don't need a dry delta for these conditions, but we're up to P4 now. BMW again out wide. We ran a little bit wide on the exit onto the curb. Aston Martin that we're going to be lapping in front. Letting us through here. Track is now wet. Yeah, track is getting wetter. Not drizzle anymore, it's light rain. Mustang off again. Closing in along the BMW here. Look at them sliding. Yellow flag a little bit annoying there, as I might have been able to have made a pass if it wasn't for it. That's the Mustang in front has had an issue and is crawling back to pit lane. That's P3 and we're challenging for P2 here. Oh, BMW wasn't going to leave us any room on the outside. Bit rude. So we'll have to return the favour at some point. Okay, push me off then. We're up to P2. Seven seconds off the leader. I have a feeling we won't be catching the leader. Just looking to make it to the end of the race, hopefully here in P2. Already dropped the BMW a bit. BMW missed its braking point by quite a distance. Nearly ran into the back of us. A little bit cautious through that right-hander. Okay, so we have one less lap of fuel apparently than we do energy. Pretty much matching the leader's lap time last lap. That's good. That's turning into our lane. past another lapped car. Maybe too late on the brakes that time for the right-hander. We should be good on fuel according to our apps. 40 laps in the top right, 39 in the bottom left. I think that means 39 laps. And we have 25 laps of fuel, so we should be good. Track is very wet, which for light rain is interesting. BMW's made another mistake at T1. And now it's another Mustang behind us in P3. Faster than the car behind. That's all I want. Spare time to the car behind, not ideal. 30 minutes left in the race. Racing with hypercars was locking up the rears on slow corners. I think that's a brake migration thing. Basically, the brake migration shifts the brake bias. It's either forwards or backwards, depending on the braking force and speed of the car. So like in a long braking zone, you know, you might start with 55% forward bias when you hit the brakes. And then as you release the brakes and go down the gears, the brake bias will sort of go forwards to 57% as the grip changes, with the aero coming off, the speed decreasing. You can obviously change your brake bias itself. Otherwise, it might just be a case of you're holding too much pressure in slow speed corners. Especially the hypercars, they don't have a lot of grip at low speeds when, you know, you don't have the aero on the car. That's when the hypercars struggle most. So you do have to be very careful with the brakes in slow speed corners. And last thing is just make sure, you know, if you're driving one of the actual hypercars, make sure you're not one of the LMDH cars that comes from the IMSA rule set. That's the BMW, the Porsche, the Cadillac. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. But yeah, those cars that don't have front-wheel drive, that you have to drive the car out of the pits on the hybrid. You can't just sort of start the car and, you know, drive out traditionally. Those, or sorry, not those cars. The ones that have a hybrid that you do drive traditionally and have the hybrid on the front axle. Make sure you don't run out of battery. Or, sorry, make sure you don't have the battery fill up, because when the battery fills up, you don't get any regeneration in the braking zone, so that means you don't get as much front braking force, and thus the rears are trying to do more work and will lock. Trying to explain all that while still lapping around here, when I'm pretty sure the track is still getting wetter. Not easy. You know, it's a bit concerning seeing the lap delta be so far in the positive, but I'm not really losing much time to the car in front. Still gaining slightly on the car behind. There is that McLaren that was behind us. Has recovered back to P8, but looks to be low on energy. Okay, quicker than last lap. We seem to be quite good in the first sector. Quicker than both the car in front and behind us. Not bad middle sector this lap. As we're catching up to that BMW. It's going to compromise us a bit on the exit. Again, faster than the car in front and behind. Despite being held up a little bit out of the final corner. Decreasing the battery recharge might help in the LMDH cars. It won't help in the hypercars, the LMH cars. Though generally you don't want to do that, as then it means of course you can't deploy as much energy. So you'll then use more fuel in a stint, then have a heavier car. Let's not put wheels on the grass in the wet. Can do it in the dry, alright, but let's not try it in the wet. The Aston we were fighting with earlier has got themselves up to P4. Not a very good final sector. Yeah, and it shows. Weather's back down to drizzle, which is nice, so hopefully the track won't get much wetter. Yeah, much better final sector than last lap. "18 minutes to go." I mean, we definitely could have got away with putting less fuel in the car. I don't think they'd have helped our position. Of course, that was always going to be a risk in these conditions, because you don't know. Very difficult to calculate how many laps there'd be. Track is getting quicker. So it's improving. Which is fun, because you can kind of push the car and you'll get rewarded for it. The grip will come to you and you'll go quicker and quicker. And just feel the car feel the grip coming to you. It's really nice, but you do have to push. It's not easy, because you don't know for certain that, yeah, the grip will be there. You don't know. But if you don't push, you'll never find out, and you'll just be a sitting duck while everyone else around you goes quicker and quicker. "15.5 minutes remain." We're into the 45s. Rain has stopped. But it could return. I just realized the predicted time on the dash is still working the delta relative to my fastest lap, not the lap time that it's been reset to. Track isn't going to dry out in time for dry tires to be worth it. I will say the water from the spray isn't the most realistic. You can tell there's a certain range. If you're outside that range, you might still sort of see the particles. Or like the effect from the car in front. Also, look at how the spray outside the wiper range just faded away. Yeah, track is definitely drying out, but the race will end before it is dry enough for slicks. And even then, getting them up to temperature, the time lost in pit lane, it wouldn't be worth it. I think the race would need to be half an hour long, or half an hour to go instead of just 10 minutes for it to actually be a good consideration. quick look at the tire status. Front left down to 71%. Did that car move over to the right? I'm pretty sure it did. It's like, yeah, if I turn here, it'll clear easily, and then it started swaying to the right. I was like, oh, if it turns right anymore, I won't clear it. Also, why are you going that slowly on the main straight? Like, if you're going that slowly, trying to save fuel, you would be better off pitting. See, puddles have basically disappeared now. I got spray from someone in the pit lane. First sector is definitely my strongest sector. Two laps to go. the beast is out of our way. Yep. Leader starting the final lap now. Doesn't seem like running in the spray cools down your tires too much. Certainly not as much as in ACC. I don't think me running offline on the start-finish straight is actually helping. If anything, I think it's hindering me. That's good to know for the future. I went from being really strong in Sector 1 to not being strong in Sector 1. There we go, across the line. For P2. What a great result. So much better than last week. Yes. What a great race. That first part of the race was good fun. It seemed like the, I think it's the Aston is fighting in the lead, forgot to check their energy and ran out, giving them a 100-second stop-go. That's a bit silly. But yeah, fantastic, really good race. Really enjoyed that. And we got P2. Yeah, was not expecting that. Was not expecting that indeed. Well, let us switch on over to Art of Rally, as usual. Tend to stream off. GG, Ben. Well done on P3. We got a nice admin 1-2-3 there, so we did. Yes, well done. And 2 Mustangs. We got 2 Fords on the podium. So, Art of Rally got 47 last time. It felt like a good run yesterday that we had, but time and position didn't reflect that. A little bit better last couple of days, 29th, 21st. Hopefully we can sort of replicate those higher positions. 12.2 kilometer tarmac stage in Germany. Group S in foggy conditions. So the quickest cars in the game. Looks like we've got the Delta Group S. But foggy conditions limiting visibility. And that's what the fog does. Just about slowed down for that square right in time. I braked as soon as I seen it. I left a little space to the first high bale, so I was like, I'll try and get a bit closer. Because there's a silly amount of space I left, and then, yeah, I got way too close. Then miscounted gears. So a bit slow to get to neutral, or reverse. Oh, very lucky there. Just ran it in with too much speed. I mean, those stones can easily spin your car around and you can sort of easily get trapped in between them. Luckily for us, neither happened. A couple of little bounces and we carried on our way. Careful not to hit the ones on the inside there, hiding amongst the spectators. Oh, I was so close staying the inside ones there. I really thought I was going to. Again, just slowing up for that left-hander just about in time. Brushing the hay bale. 33rd. I mean, better than yesterday. I mean, look how close the times are in front of us. If we didn't have that mistake, we might have scraped top 30. Probably would have. We've been very, very close. But yeah, either way, still a fun yeah, fun race. Glad to sort of be back on pace compared to last week. Yeah, hopefully, we can carry the same again through for the Friday series as well with the Aston. Hopefully have a good final couple of rounds for that as well. But yeah, and then our rally, yeah, Group S cars are always fun. Germany, yeah, a couple of little mistakes. But yeah, still a fun way to end the stream. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing some Richard Burns rally. We've got a ERC event from SROL round 2 at Hungary. First full gravel rally that I'm going to be doing. So that's going to be hopefully some good fun. Looking forward to that. It's going to be difficult. There's some fun stages, some very difficult ones in that. So yeah, interested to see how we do in that tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be back again on Friday for our other GT3 series. And this week, on Friday, we will be at Bahrain Outer. Wonderful track. Have had good races there so far. So hopefully, with sort of relearning the GT3 cars, learning that yes, you do need to use ABS. You can't just sort of turn it off and be as quick. No, it is vital to being quick. Yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully, can have some good racing there. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you, Kybell. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Ben. Good racing, Ben. Well done, P3 again. Yeah, thank you all for popping in chat. Thank you to those who are lurking as well or watching the VOD back afterwards. Hopefully you all enjoy the rest of your Monday evening and start of your Tuesday. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, enjoy the rest of your week. Yeah, until next time, take care. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.